How can a farmer cut almost all feed costs while still helping their pigs grow astonishingly fast?
Why do some farmers spend a fortune on commercial feed but remain stuck with meager profit margins, while others, with simple facilities, achieve much better results? What is truly wrong with traditional pig fattening methods? And there's another equally important question. How much potential is wasted daily just by not understanding the right time for the animal to convert feed into optimal weight? In this video, you'll discover why 35 days can completely change the perception of the pig farming industry. Allow me to begin with complete honesty.
After more than 20 years in pig farming, I've witnessed very different situations.
I've seen farmers go bankrupt by following rigid formulas that didn't suit their reality. I've seen people invest large sums in expensive technologies, promising miracles, but ultimately only increasing costs. And I've also seen small-scale farmers, with simple facilities and modest capital, achieve extraordinary results, because they understood the basic principles of efficient farming. The truth is, the pork market is experiencing a very favorable period. Domestic demand is rising, exports are growing year by year, and prices remain stable with an upward trend. But there's one problem no one can ignore. Production costs have also skyrocketed. And among those costs, feed is the most decisive factor. In many farms, feed accounts for 70 to 80% of total costs. Without optimizing this part, competition is almost impossible. This is where the 35-day fattening method comes into play. These are not magic tricks or dubious shortcuts. This is applied science, meticulous observation, and practical experience accumulated over decades. It's a system based on following the natural biological characteristics of pigs, not going against them. Pigs are highly efficient animals when provided with the right conditions. Their bodies can convert feed into rapid growth if they receive the correct nutrients, at the perfect time, and in the right quantity.
The problem is, many farmers are wasting that growth potential by using systems that don't respect the animal's peak performance phase.
A weaned piglet has a rapid metabolism. Its digestive system craves nutrients, and its weight gain potential will decrease over time. The early months are a unique, golden opportunity.
If this period is utilized well, the results can seem impossible to those only familiar with conventional methods.
The foundation of this method is maximizing weight gain during that critical period, minimizing waste, better utilizing every gram of feed.
It's science, observation, and intelligent management. Piglet selection is the starting point of the entire process. I often say, you can't turn a regular car into a high-performance sports car just by giving it good fuel.
The same applies to pig farming. Feed is decisive, but genetics and the animal's initial condition play an extremely important role.
That doesn't mean buying the most expensive breeding pigs on the market. It means making selections with criteria, observing the right details.
When selecting piglets for rapid fattening, the first thing I consider is their origin. Animals born from healthy sows, well-nourished and cared for, will have a significant advantage. They are born healthier, have better natural immunity, and absorb nutrients better from day one. Next, I observe the age and weight at weaning. Piglets weaned between 21 and 28 days old, weighing around 5.5.
I also conduct careful visual inspections. A healthy piglet can be recognized immediately. It is active, curious, has bright eyes, firm pink skin, clean hair, and a lively attitude towards food. When an animal shows good appetite and vitality, it is ready for explosive growth if provided with the right conditions. Additionally, there's a detail many overlook. I prefer to batch groups with pigs of similar age or litter. This facilitates easier management, improves uniformity. After selecting good breeding stock, another factor that can change the outcome is housing. When it comes to housing, I don't necessarily mean expensive or complex structures.
I'm talking about intelligent spaces, designed to provide comfort, reduce stress, and allow pigs to convert feed into meat with maximum efficiency.
Pigs are very sensitive to their environment. Cold, heat, drafts, humidity, and lack of space all cause stress.
And stress is a direct enemy of feed conversion. A stressed pig will expend energy fighting its environment, instead of converting it into growth.
A stressed pig will expend energy fighting its environment instead of converting it into growth. Therefore, in a rapid fattening,
the ideal temperature for piglets during rapid growth typically ranges from 22 to 25 degrees Celsius. Above this, they will eat less to reduce metabolic heat. In summer, adequate shade, good natural ventilation, and, if possible, misting during the hottest hours will be very helpful. Avoiding overcrowding is also a key factor. Crowded pigs will bite each other, get injured, and waste energy. Comfortable pigs will eat, rest, and grow. Even the pen floor is important. It must have adequate roughness, sufficient grip, and not injure the pig's hooves. We come to the core of the entire method: strategic nutrition. This is where significant production cost reductions are. When it comes to saving, many think of feeding lower quality food, but that is a serious mistake.
The key is not to feed less, but to eliminate waste, formulate better, and use high-quality alternative ingredients that are much cheaper than conventional commercial feed.
The most common mistake I've seen over the years is buying pre-mixed feed without questioning it.
Farmers have to pay for the formula, brand, transport, storage, distribution, and factory profit margins.
Often, they also pay for filler ingredients that provide no significant nutritional value. Ultimately, costs increase, but efficiency doesn't always match.
My approach is different. Feeding must be adjusted according to each growth phase, utilizing locally available ingredients, good quality. When this is done with understanding, the results can be very impressive, both in terms of cost savings and weight gain.
A clear example is whey, a dairy byproduct. It has good digestibility and high protein value. When properly mixed with energy sources, it can greatly aid pig growth. Another example is bakery waste, provided it is well selected and processed. They provide concentrated energy at a low cost. Locally available oilseed meals or cakes, such as sunflower.
But extreme caution is necessary. You can't just throw any waste product into the feeder.
That could ruin the entire herd. Ingredients must be of good quality, free from mold, contamination, and improper fermentation. Furthermore, the diet must be balanced. Crude protein, metabolizable energy, essential amino acids, minerals, and vitamins must all be considered.
Therefore, whenever possible, rely on ingredient analysis and technical calculations.
Another important secret is frequent small meals. Instead of feeding just twice a day, food can be provided 3 or 4 times in smaller portions. This keeps the digestive system active, improves nutrient absorption, and stimulates natural appetite.
Please. And we cannot forget drinking water. It sounds basic, but many farmers neglect this.
Therefore, drinking troughs must be checked multiple times a day. Without sufficient water, no fattening system can function well. It's useless to have good breeding stock, standard housing, and a carefully calculated diet if sanitation and disease prevention are neglected. Therefore, in a rapid fattening system, disease prevention is not a minor detail, but the central part of the method. Treatment is always more expensive. The sanitation protocol begins before piglets are introduced to the pen. First, thorough cleaning is performed, not just a superficial tidying. All organic matter must be removed, washed with a high-pressure sprayer, and effective disinfectants used. Afterward, the pen must be left empty for at least 7 days before welcoming a new batch. This sanitary void period helps.
When new piglets arrive, they should be kept under observation for 3 to 5 days, even if they come from a reliable source.
This isolation period allows for early detection of disease signs before officially introducing the animal into the farming system, compared to widespread infection throughout the herd. Vaccination is mandatory. The recommended vaccination schedule for each region must be followed.
The cost of vaccination is very small compared to the damage an outbreak can cause. This protocol also includes strategic deworming upon entry and repeated as needed, based on coprological analysis.
Parasitic diseases often go undetected, but they steal nutrients and severely reduce weight gain.
Understood. Another fundamental point is daily observation. Every day, behavior, feed consumption, fecal condition, symptoms.
After years of practice, it's clear that stress can cost more profit than many diseases. A stressed pig will eat less, grow slower.
The danger is that it doesn't always show obvious symptoms. Pigs are social and intelligent animals. If treated like machines, efficiency will decrease. Therefore, handling must be gentle. Shouting, hitting, sudden movements, and loud noises must be avoided. Batching animals of similar size and allowing them to ascend. Once the herd is stable, biting will decrease. Additionally, simple items like hanging chains, stress balls, or respect in farming is not just an ethical issue, it also improves results. One of the biggest differences between a conventional farmer and a truly efficient one lies in data tracking. There is no magic formula that works identically on every farm, in every climate, and with every type of ingredient. What works perfectly in one region may need adjustment in another. Therefore, the secret is not blind copying, but understand. Each batch of pigs must be regularly observed and measured. At the beginning of the cycle, each animal is weighed individually. Then, weekly weigh-ins are conducted to determine the average daily weight gain, herd uniformity, and the actual progress of the fattening process. This data allows one to know if the system is progressing as expected, or if there are any underlying problems not visible to the naked eye. Daily feed consumption must also be recorded. There's no need to complicate daily tasks, but continuous record-keeping is essential. Knowing how much each animal eats, how much weight it gains, and how the feed conversion ratio progresses will help make decisions based on facts. If the conversion ratio deteriorates, the cause must be investigated. There might be issues with diet quality, stress, subclinical diseases, or when some animals grow slower than average, they should not be ignored. Sometimes these are more submissive piglets. Separating them and providing individual care can help them recover quickly. Therefore, beyond the numbers, keeping a field observation notebook to record behavioral observations is dangerous. As we enter the final 5 days of the cycle, a sensitive period begins, preparing for market. During one of those adjustments is a slight reduction in dietary energy. Although it sounds contradictory, this makes perfect sense. In the final days, the animal has almost reached its ideal weight and tends to accumulate more fat than muscle. A moderate reduction in energy still maintains weight gain, but improves the lean meat ratio.
Sanitation is also intensified. Pigs are washed with clean water and gently brushed to remove accumulated dirt. This makes work at the slaughterhouse easier and improves the appearance of the carcass. 3 days before slaughter, any medication. The day before market, only water or very small amounts of feed are given to the animal to clear its digestive tract. An animal poorly transported will arrive stressed, resulting in lower meat quality and increased losses.
Actual results are proof of whether a method is effective. In the most recent batch using this method, 50 piglets were used with an initial average weight of 6 kilograms. After exactly 35 days of fattening, the average weight reached 45 kilograms. This translates to an average daily, meaning 2.3 kilograms of feed was needed to gain each kilogram of body weight. Feed costs, thanks to the use of quality alternative including all costs for feed, housing, veterinary care, and labor, total savings reached almost 90% as promised. The mortality rate was 2%. Additionally, 85% of the pigs reached the desired weight range, indicating good batch uniformity. The slaughterhouse, but more important than individual numbers, is cash flow. With a cycle of just 35 days, capital rotation is much faster than traditional farming systems. However, there are mistakes that can ruin these results. The first mistake is trying to save money by buying low-quality breeding Duroc pigs.
A too cheap breeding animal often harbors genetic issues, health problems, or was weaned too early.
The second mistake is neglecting temperature. If pigs are too cold or too hot, this method will not be effective.
The third mistake is using poor quality alternative ingredients. Moldy, contaminated, or improperly fermented waste products will do more harm than good.
The fourth mistake is overcrowding. Housing more pigs than space allows will reduce feed conversion, increase fighting, and raise mortality rates.
The fifth mistake is neglecting water sources. Without clean water readily available, pigs cannot grow efficiently.
The seventh mistake is giving up too early. The first batch is almost never perfect. One must adjust, learn, and improve.
Regarding scalability, this method can be applied to both small and large-scale farming if similar principles are followed.
It can be applied to herds of 20 or 30 animals, but also to herds of 200 or 300, provided there is organization, record-keeping, and attention to detail. To grow, one must professionalize management, train personnel, improve feed and water distribution systems. The core essence remains unchanged: good breeding stock, animal comfort, optimal nutrition, proactive disease prevention. These foundations work whether raising 10 or 1,000 pigs. The market always seeks efficient, stable farmers capable. Those who master this system can produce better, negotiate better, and build a more profitable business model.